Hey guys, it's been a while, but I wanted to just record another quick video. I wanted to call this one Don't Kick Your Cross. And so, what I mean about that is in the Bible, Jesus tells us specifically that, well, he doesn't say it as a quote, but we all have a cross to bear. He tells us to take up our cross and follow him. And so, we all have our cross to bear, so to speak. And so, when people think of the cross, they think about like a heavy burden. Dying on a cross was the worst death of that time. It was, I believe, Romans had invented that. Hopefully, I got it right. But it was a horrible torture, very painful and humiliating death. And so you didn't want to go to the cross. Like nobody's like, let's get crucified today. But I wanted to talk to you about in life, we are to take up our cross. Our cross is what God has for us to do, our ultimate goal. Your life's destiny is how I'm going to define it. And so we all have to take up our cross. God has called each and every one of us to do something for him. Some of us have more to do than others. So you might have this much to do for God, and someone else might have this much to do for God, just figuratively speaking. It doesn't mean that the person has more to do. It doesn't mean that their more is better than the person has a little bit to do. God has called us for specific purposes that he has preordained for us at the beginning of time. And so we have our own cross to bear. Your cross might be different from my cross. Our cross are things also that we go through. Some of us are praying for our family members to be safe, and we've been praying for years, and we feel like we're getting nowhere. We're tasked to pray for others. That can be your cross as well. Some of us have been praying for our finances, for jobs, for friendships, for courtship opportunities, for marriage, for houses, for cars, for children. A lot of things that we could pray for protection, for love, for peace. So these are things that are on our minds. But I just want to talk to you, like, don't kick your cross. Whatever God has called you to do, don't not do it. Do it wholeheartedly. Look at it like this. God has entrusted you with that responsibility, and he could have gave it to someone else. So right there is a compliment. One of my burdens, and I don't want to talk specifically about it right now, is I am tasked for a family member of mine that has gone astray like the prodigal son. And so this particular family member has kind of ran away from God and has done some bad things and is living in sin right now. And I have been praying for this person for a long time. And this person, I'm hoping it will start to come around. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen any signs, but that's just one of my burdens, my crosses that I have to bear. God has called me to a particular ministry, and I don't want to speak on it at this point. I'm a strong believer of seasons. The Bible talks about seasons in Ecclesiastics. There's a season for certain things, a time to grow, I'm going to mess it up, but and I don't have my Bible with me open right now. I have it with me in my room, but there's a season, there's a time and place for everything. And so I don't want to speak about what God has placed in my heart before it's the season for that to come to fruition. I've learned that when you speak about things too soon, people are quick to say, oh, you're wrong, or God didn't say that, or you shouldn't do that, or whatever. So I'm not going to speak on it. But I know that's praying for this family member is one of the burdens that God has placed on my heart. And do I want to do it? I mean, it's not really a question of whether I want to. At first I was like, no, that person's on their own. Sorry. It's not my fault. But then as God worked in my heart, I realized we are our brother's keeper. That is my responsibility. And I'm to pray for that person and leave it in God's hands. And when that person's ready to come back to God, when God is done whatever he has to do to open up that person's heart, body, soul, and mind, that person will come back to Christ. Now, do I mind doing it now? No, not really. I don't mind. Do I necessarily want to do it? I mean, it's okay. It's just a burden. Sometimes it gets hard when you pray for something and it's been years and you see no results. Now, we don't know what God is doing on the other side. We don't know the spiritual components. We don't see the demonic forces that are blocking or hindering the particular person or manipulating the circumstance. So we only see what we can see with our physical eyes, and a lot of us cannot see spiritually. So we are quick to say, "Oh, it's been 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I don't see any signs. Just give up." But we don't know about the spiritual battle that's going on. So I wanted to encourage you. Hopefully, we all have our cross to bear. Don't kick your cross. Your cross could be, when you first go into it, it could be one of the biggest burdens. It can make you sad. It can make you feel heavy. But as a result of carrying your cross and doing what God has called you to do, it could be one of the biggest blessings that you'll have. So don't kick your cross. Don't get rid of it. Don't drop it. Don't kick it. Don't disregard your cross. Your cross, God has called you specifically for that burden, or to do that ministry. And so whatever God has called you to do, know that He has personally chose you for that. And that's an honor right there, that out of all the people in the world, so to speak, God chose you for that particular ministry. So let that encourage you, loves. Have a good night. Have a good Sunday. I love you guys. Enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.